With the forward structure, internal structure pretty much there, it's now time to trim up our pieces of plywood we're using for the lower skins and get them into place. This takes some trial and error. We've got one setting in here right now, and basically by getting it pretty close to where it goes and then running a pencil down the side of it and scribing a line, and then trimming to that line a number of times, and of course marking where everything is going to final fit on our board, we can get a pretty nice fit out of the bottom of this. We know that the jig is straight, so where the sides of the boat themselves tend to deflect a little bit, the jig won't, and so we can fit our pieces, both our forward and our lower one, into the jig, and then set the boat on top of it to trim out the parts of it that are not going to be described by the jig itself. We set the shape of the boat on it and trace around it, and we've got a pretty nice floor. Here you can see the back end of the boat kind of lifted up in the jig a little bit to show you the floor, which has been pretty nicely trimmed, the bottom skin. And by tracing around the shape of the hull, after we know that the hull is in position in the jig, this will give us a pretty true shape, and will also help us to keep the boat straight. This is also a good time to get our material that we're going to use for the bottom of the cockpit. Let me wrestle this around here a little bit and see if we can't get this thing into place also. And this is pretty much our one shot at being able to do this. So this is the perfect time to get this thing marked out, because we can trace around it from the top, and that way we know it's going to fit. And it's a heck of a lot easier doing it right now than it is with all the pieces in it when you can't get to it from the bottom. This is the end of the cockpit back here, and this is the point at which the seat back will take off. But for now, this pretty well gets the major pieces of the bottom of the boat skin and also the cockpit sole cut to shape. We are getting ready to put two and two together here. This is the bottom of the boat, the bottom skin that's been pre-coated. We took the opportunity when we had the framing setting on top of it to trace where it all was so that we could get all of that glue covered, and we've done the same thing with the bottom of the boat, which, as you can see, is nice and greasy looking and all ready to slide two and two together. We've coated the entire inside of the of our mold with wax paper, and we are going to slide this forward until we hit our lines, which is right there for the center of the knee, and knock on wood, all these pieces will fit in here together. Last night was pretty productive. We got our floor glued on, and looks pretty good. We've got a bunch of clamps running across here to hold everything to our back, strong back, as tightly as possible. You can see here we've got glue coming out of the edges of pretty much everything, thanks to our cross beam and clamp bracing system here. And things look pretty even. They've oozed out pretty well, almost creating a little fillet along the bottom of each one of these joints where we've coated both surfaces and then stuck them together. Additionally, we came back in and put in our 45s on the corner to spread out our glue area for our bulkheads. We made them a couple of different sizes based on what we thought the load was, but basically this pretty much completes the front end of the boat, other than the upper skin. So we're getting there.